So today we are working on a MTD 21-inch 4-cycle 123cc, not 123.33, 123cc snowblower here. Picked this guy up off Marketplace. I think it was 20 bucks. We're gonna see what's going on with it. It appears to have no fuel in it, so someone might have done the right thing and ran it out of fuel. Everything else seems to be in pretty good condition. We'll tear down and clean her up and put her on Marketplace. All right, so the first step I'm gonna do is probably pull this plastic housing off, clean it up. There was 3 10mm bolts underneath here. I'm assuming we come around, there's a 8mm there I'm gonna have to take out, and a couple more 8mm over here. Everything appears to be in good condition. Check the oil. It appears, looks relatively new. I'm not seeing any issues there. And doesn't look like there's any leaks or anything that would make me think that something's failing, so we'll continue along here. All right, so we got a moment of truth here. Pull this cover off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts for the belt cover, and I always inspect here. It appears everything looks like we might have to do a little bit of adjustment here, but other than that, doesn't look too bad. I think we can make her work. If not, belt might be a little stretched. We'll find out. Okay, one thing I noticed here was this was over tightened, so when I pulled on my lever here to activate the snowblower or thrower part, it wasn't spinning, and it was just grooving a line on the inside of here. So I loosened this up a little bit. There's just a tiny bit, and that'll allow that to slip and not wear out that piece. All right, so the next step we got here is we are going to pull one of these bolts out of the bulb for the carburetor. We'll try this one first here. Something I didn't mention before we started: anytime you're working on equipment, disconnect the spark plug first. It takes literally 15 seconds. It could help prevent you from losing a finger or something potentially worse. Just disconnect it. So we will see if this was actually drained. And boy, do I hate gas and the smell of gas, but especially old gas. So we shall find out. All right. Oh no, that's old gas. Well, we'll try flushing her and see if maybe they put stable or something in it. Go on a rant here for a second. Did you ever grow up working on engines and then go to school and like bring your mini bike or go-kart around your friends and fill it up? They're like, oh, I love the smell of gas. I love the smell of gas. Gas smells so good. No, it doesn't. It stinks. It gets on your hands. You can't get it off. Then your hands smell like gas for the rest of the day. Then it gives you a headache anytime you want to eat food because your hands smell like gas. And no, Dawn dish soap doesn't work, even though it works for the ducks. Moment of truth here. Did this homeowner use ethanol fuel? Gotta make sure there's sometimes a seal up there that we don't break that. Consensus is yes. That is what we call varnish from ethanol. All right, since the previous owner used ethanol and it gelled this up, What I had to do was take the float out, and in order to do that, there's a little pin that fits right through there that holds the float in place. Now when you've got the float, you also have the needle valve right here, which has a little spring on it and sits in there. So you got to be careful when you pull this straight down out of here that you don't lose any of these little parts. And we're going to clean them up, and hopefully with some proper fuel, this thing will fire right up and we'll be good to go. So we've got it all cleaned out. We got the needle valve pushed back in with its little spring, and we've worked it up and down to make sure it's moving. Next thing, or before you put it back on here, actually, you want to check these floats to make sure they don't have any cracks or anything in them, because if they do, they fill with fuel, and then they won't go up and shut the gas off. It'll fall down just like that, because it'll just float in fuel, just kind of like if your toilet float ball went bad. And it'll just, one of the symptoms of that is it will just be dumping gas out of it. And it just, something important to check. All right, so what I did is I got the carb put back up here, and there's a little gasket in there. It's a red one. You want to make sure you get that back in there. Hand tighten it. Then this screw was removed, and all right, we got it gassed up. Put the key back in it, and we're gonna come down here. We got our spark plug, and make sure we get it on right. Okay, that's on. All right, now this will be the first time starting this, attempting to start this since I bought it. We're gonna prime it 3 times, and we will just turn her to choke. A couple pulls. Since it is not starting, I pulled the spark plug here, and she seems to be a bit fouled up, so we're gonna clean that up next.